Let's go ahead and do roll call. Please state your name, where you're calling from.
Bob Days in Shelby, North Carolina.
Hey, Bob. Welcome.
Mac Montello, Texas.
Okay, who was that, Texas?
Carrie Valiante.
All right, welcome.
This is Mac Montello, Texas.
Mac from Texas, welcome.
Thank you.
Penny Kyle, California.
Hey, Penny, welcome.
Thank you.
Adam Broker, sunny Southern California.
Hey, Adam, welcome. Welcome to the call. Please state your name, where you're calling from.
Cheryl, California.
Hey, Cheryl, welcome.
There's Cheryl.
Thank you.
Who do we ask? State
Jairus
your name, where you're calling from.
Jairus Coleman, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Jairus, welcome. Welcome to the call. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Paulette, Houston, Texas.
Hey, Houston, welcome.
Thank you.
Please state your name, where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is Tony out here in L.A.
Hey, Tony, welcome.
All right. Thank you, Brandon.
Anybody else that have not done so, please state your name and where you're calling from. We'll be getting started in about less than 30 seconds.
Okay, time to take notes.
If you guys have any background noise, make sure that you guys hit *6 to mute yourselves out. We had a good call the last one, but there was some background noise, and it kind of diminished the quality of the recording. So I want to make sure that we have a very nice, clean call that everybody can understand everything that's being said. Welcome to the call. Please state your name, where you're calling from.
This is Helen from Texas.
Hey, Helen, welcome.
Hey.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. This is our Wednesday morning agent call, DAC agent call with our team, Success Team Alliance. My name is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for being here. We do this call at least 3 times a week, and this call is designed for us to come together at least 3 times a week to hear some new updates, go over some new strategies, introduce and welcome the new agents that have joined us so that they can see that we have a system here in place that is designed for you to have success for you and your agent team, that is not just you and you're not alone. Also have a chance to ask questions that you might be confused on, you need more help with, and to give some tips and highlight some of our agents that have success over the last few days. In fact, one of our people we're going to highlight today will be Penny Kyle, who has been on fire the last couple of days. She's going to share some things, some tips that has led to her success so far. And with that, I want to introduce the leader of Success Team Alliance. Those of you who know him, there is no introduction that's needed. Those of you who don't, I've known this gentleman for years now. He is for his age, he has accomplished a lot that most people don't do until their mid and late 40s. We're talking about being able to generate in sales multiple millions of dollars in multiple industries, from being a business owner, from being on the corporate side, and from being even in corporate America working for banks. So I would like to introduce Mr. Jairus Coleman.
Hey, Brandon, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you for the introduction. And also I was letting people in as well and situating everybody. So I want to welcome everybody. It's Wednesday. I can't even believe this week is going by so fast. And, definitely I'm excited about today's call. Just in a short period of time, a lot of you guys that are newer, and a lot of you guys like Penny, who I'm going to bring up here in a minute and highlight really most of the call, have experienced a lot of success. And here's the thing that we have a few different methods that, we've been focusing on. And, I'm going to tell you that the people that are applying themselves to the methods are actually starting to see results. My ultimate goal for every single person that's new, that's coming in, and I say this even when I do a lot of interviews, is that my goal is for you to make at least a minimum of putting one loan in the system a month. That's actually my target goal. And it's very possible based on our methods of how we're doing it. Here's what one loan looks like by putting it into the system a month. It varies on the dollar amount, but on a standard basis, about $80,000 loan is about $65,000 to about $80,000 loan is what is about expected to be originated usually in most deals. That's about a $1,500 to $2,000 in your pocket in one deal. So I'm just giving you the scope and the perspective of how big and why my target goal for every business loan officer that comes into David Allen Capital and into also our team here, the Success Team Alliance, by following our system, by applying it, and that's the key, by applying it and then actually submitting your loans and getting approval, is one loan a month. Now, I want more. I want more production out of everybody, but we're all independent agents. But my goal is I want to push us all to our limits. But one loan originated, it can equate to $2,000 in your pocket. A lot of people bust their butts all month long at a 9-to-5 job just to get $2,000 a month, which is not a lot of money. But it's a lot of money when you put it in perspective of, especially with this. Here's the thing. With this structure, you really can do it. Most of you probably do it. I would say part-time. Some of you guys do it. You're on the calls. You're calling, cold calling, and you have a system. I talked to a lot of you guys. You guys are doing it full-time. But the reality is you guys, once you guys boil it down, you guys can, put your numbers down and set your own caps for the week. Hey, I want to hit 2 loans and put 2 to 3 loans in the system a week. Set your own goals. But if you submit one loan and it goes through and it's approved, that can change a lot, and it can mean a big difference. The next thing I'm going to step into really quickly before we bring Penny on, and then this is pretty key because I'm going to use her as kind of a base model on this. When you guys are submitting your loans, this is the most critical part. This is the most critical part, and that is follow-up. Now, and when I say follow-up, and I'm going to be doing a lot of video trainings over this next week now that I've gotten my tax stuff done for the you guys. Yesterday was a tax deadline, so I had got my tax stuff done for right now, and so now I've got a little bit more clarity, which actually opens up the door for every other business, which we'll talk about a little later on. The tax season is officially done today. Businesses have done file extensions or whatever, but they're right now it's done. But I'll leave that for the end of this conversation. I want to finish what I'm kind of getting into here when it comes to following up. And I've been really following this because when you submit your loan, when you guys go into the online onboarding system, which is everybody gets their own replicated website, which on there you can submit your loan documentations and you submit it electronically. Again, I'm going to make a new video showing you guys for the newbies how to actually submit a loan application. Penny's going to really talk about the 12 questions that are answered on there that I love. I love how she's getting that. But understand that when we submit a loan, what that is, we don't need their social security number. And make that clear in your sales pitch is that we're not asking for your person, but we are needing to get a snapshot. Now, we will need to eventually get their personal pertinent information, and this is where the follow-up must begin. The pre-qual is really just getting a snapshot based off of the specs that they've given us, the specs that they've given us to qualify them and qualify their business if they're a potential candidate to get approved for a loan. So beyond than that, the next step would be then David Allen Capital, after they've submitted, will give you an email. This is what happens for those who haven't submitted a loan. When you submit a loan, you're going to get an email saying, congratulations, such and such, your customer has submitted the loan, and what the steps that you need to get from them. It has all that inside the email. You need to get, they get the same email. But here's where we need to, where the follow-up game has to come strong, because this is where the money's at. Because submitting the loan is one thing, but we got to make sure we follow up with them to get the documentation. What I'm finding across the board, and this is just everybody, this is all loan industries, is that getting documentation from the clients is the most. That's actually where you guys are going to where the time is being taken a lot of times. I mean, most of the time. I'm going to say actually 100% of the time after probably the 2 most time-consuming spaces are obviously prospecting. But once you get the loan, calm down. Don't freak out. I know because people get, oh, my God, I got a loan. What do I do? I'm gonna recreate another video for that. But the point is that when you submit the loan for the pre-approval, they're going to get an email like you, and it'll have the instructions what they need. Make sure that you follow up with them respectfully within a day or two. Hey, just making sure that you got your pre-approval, you got the qualifications. Here's what we need to do to proceed with the loan, and make sure that they get that. If you have to, hey, what can I do to help you, aid you in that? It's not that you're being, here's reality. It's human nature. I've found for myself, guys, that here's what I found, and I've lost so much money in a lot of sales environments. And recently, I've probably, honestly, guys, over the last year and a half, I've lost about $250,000 in my own business, my wholesale business. Well, I got rid of, and also my other sales. I have other businesses outside this, but my own businesses recently, I've because of two things: procrastination and not following up. I've lost personally more than $250,000, bar none. My point is that when you follow up, you got to follow up with your clients, because it is key, paramount. And don't feel bad, because if you don't follow up, here's what happens, because we're talking about human nature here. They're busy because they're working their normal hours, even if they want and need the loan bad and they're like desperate and they're like, hey, look, you're going to get people that are going to give you everything right up front. But it is human nature to procrastinate, to prolong things, and to take it's just taking the least path of resistance. So follow up is necessary, guys. You can't get a guy or a gal that's going to be in shape if they're not on themselves every day or every other day to work out. My point is that if you don't follow up and it's not that they don't want to submit the loan or finish it. It's just more, you're needing to be that motivator for that procrastination. And it's in everybody. Everybody has, even the most go-getter has procrastination. So my point is that follow up and get those docs. I know for every one of us, when you submit your loan, it would be better to hear that person say, I'm not interested in the terms, this and the other. Just get it out of the way. Because what you guys are doing in when you submit the loan and once they get the information, if they don't want to proceed, you might as well just pull the Band-Aid off and say, okay, well then, be nice and polite and close it out and move on. My point is that, don't take forever, because our time, when you value your time, which I value everybody's time here, our time is the most important asset we own and possess on this planet. When we're dead and gone, there is no redemption or refunds to that. We've been expired. Not in a preach here. I just want to make sure we all are using our times very, very moderately and very respectfully to ourselves. It's not even just to them. We got to respect our own time, because guess what? Every person on this call is of value. Every person on this call means something, and you guys are very important. So again, you got to get that documentation. If they take forever, you're just being a friendly reminder is all. So I wanted to emphasize that, because I know that shores up the process, because the faster you get that documentation, the quicker you get paid. Why are we in this game? Let's just be real. There is no, we don't have to be real. We're in sales and we're in business to make money. If you're not in business to make money, then what are you in business for? Even the gospel requires money. Well, at least the church requires money, or mosque or things. The point is that we need money. Money is truly, in this materialistic world, is what makes the world go round. And it's not me being harsh. Trust me, I'm a spiritual believing person. But my at the end road, I've been there, and I've been at this position before where it's like I've been the nice guy and have and this that and the other, and you're broke and you have no money, you have nothing. And so again, money pays bills. So at the end of the day, follow up. Put that loan in the system. Get that follow up. Make sure they get those documentations so you can get that loan closed out, and remind them, hey, look, the sooner you get that documentation, remember, we got you pre-qualified. Now we can get you pre-qualified for the right dollar amount. So let's get this documentation. It's okay to motivate and push them off. That's what drill sergeants are for. After that, you guys get paid. Do that mentality with every single loan, guys, and you will watch your time, your lead time and pay, because here's what a lot of you guys are going to think. Well, I submitted the loan, and where's the money at? No. When you got them pre-qualified, you got to follow up. Because they still have to send the real Now we have to see the real picture to the pre-picture that they've given us. The pre-qual just gives us the pre-picture of the bigger of what they verbally told us, but the underwriters need to see the real picture of what their financials really say. Make sure that's clear too to them too. It's like, hey, based on your specs you've given us, this is why you're pre-qualified. That doesn't mean you're going to guarantee the loan, but based on the specs you've given us. Now we need to get the real picture to back that up. And now we can come by, when we backed it up and we get it pre-approved, when we have the real documentation, then we can present the real dollar amount. Oh, you're approved for $65,000, $100,000, and here's the terms. If you agree to them, let's just move forward, close the loan out, and you know what? They get funded, and every person is happy. So with that being said, guys, I wanted to emphasize that part on the call, and I'm going to go back also on the tax thing at the end when Penny's done here. If Adam's on the call, I'm going to bring him up, and I like when he talks about that aspect of the business, if he is. Adam, just make sure are you on this call, or if not, that's okay.
Oh, I'm here, but let Penny go first.
Yeah, no, I'm going to let her go first. I just want to make sure you're on the call. Okay. So at this point, thank you, Adam. At this point, Penny, I just want to make sure you're on this call here. I'm going to bring you on in a few seconds.
Yes,
you there,
am.
Penny? Good. So, you guys, I'm going to say I'm very proud of Penny, and I'm proud of everybody on this call. I just wanted to highlight her, and I want you guys to pick her brain, pick her mind, especially for the new people here. See, there's 3 big methods that we're working with in this team, and I'll explain that. The first method, well, there's really more than 3, but there's 3 main ones. The first method is your old school. You could print your drop cards off and drop it off at local businesses. That's a very effective way. I was telling a person, I believe she's on the call today, that, how effective drop cards are, but it is very time consuming. I'll tell you, and I'll just be direct honest with you guys. I'm old school. I'm a young cat, but I'm old school as well because I've been in the old school game in the banking world for 10 plus years. I'm all for going and meeting the businesses and shaking their hands. Point is that time is everything. And I live in Houston, and it gets hot, but it's also everything is so distant and spread out. I don't have time to run around town, burn gas, and even for a big deal. I mean, it's worth it. Point is that I do drop cards. I believe in them, but drop cards are one of the most effective ways because you do get a chance to see the business owner and actually talk to them. Do your research on them. What I would do is mix it up and see which one works for you. But drop cards is one effective method that's worked, and it's worked for all of David Allen Capital. As dropping the cards off, talking, hey, as a business owner here, and here's what we do. If you with the access of our training core or platform Manta, you can actually do research and know the business owner's name. Hey, is Frank here? I'm dropping this information off for Frank. Okay, well, can I get his business card and his email, and then you got it. So you guys can make a day of that for some of you guys who have that time to do. The next route, in which we really emphasize, is, and it's been extremely effective for our team, and that is a cold calling, and we use, again, Manta or Yelp. So we're able to get the business owners through Manta the name, the size of their business, and also with Yelp as well to clarify that even more. Doing just a little extra research on every call you do does help a long way. So don't just get on the phone and pound. It does do a lot of work when you actually do a little bit of research. And Manta kind of boils everything down on the cold call segment because whether you're doing the drop cards live and you're doing the research and you know the owner's name when you drop the information off, or you are cold calling and you call. Now, I'll say with cold calling, I can call more people in 1 hour than you can travel to in 1 day. So with cold calling, and you got to know that even though it seems scary for some of you guys are new, the point is that you don't know the person on the other side of the phone. They don't know you. Really what it boils down to is your emotions. Just take the emotions out. I mean, I know it sounds easy as done, but everybody's scared of rejection. I know that. That's why people are not good at sales a lot of times. They're afraid of rejection and getting rejected. Don't worry about it because guess what? They're going to hang up the phone on you, then they got to call somebody else, a client. Hey, my name is Jim Francis with whatever plumbing. They got to do the same thing. So you got to know that that business owner that is not interested or turns you down, which they do need the money. They just got to come at them, and it's a trade. You got to learn it. But they are going to get on the phone and they're going to close and they're going to market. They're going to spend money on advertisement too. So if they don't, how are they even in business? You guys get the point. So cold calling is effective, but the next way, and we're even perfecting this more, and that's Facebook. That's using social media, not just Facebook, but social media. Your LinkedIn, your Facebooks, you're running your ad advertisements, your local, and this is kind of added to it, but it's outside of it. It would really be a fourth way. But your mailers, your signs that you place out on the streets and the highways. As you guys get more advanced and you keep growing your book of business and the agency, you guys will see the bigger picture. But focus on what works, what's cheapest, and what's effective. I'm very, very cost-effective person. I believe in being as cheap as you possibly can as a business until you get the budget to where you can become more expensive. So the point is that you guys are independent as sales business loan officers, but we're all here together to help and aid each other for success. So with that, Penny's going to focus on the method she's been working on, and that's Facebook. And she's been really been fine-tuning what she's been doing. And I'll tell you, just in the last, I'll let her confirm how many she's put in, but just in the last day, 24 hours, 48 hours alone, she's only been in 2 weeks. She has never, from my knowledge, had any background in sales or financial services or sales financial services with that matter. But she's been able to put in just 24 to 48 hours, 6 loans in the system. And I know we talked before, she actually had 15. So the point is that she's been able, through social media, to put in 6 loans in the system. And I know she's got more. Her method is proven to test and work. Point is that we got so many different methods that work. As long as you work it. Now you guys see why my goal is for every person to minimum get 1 loan, and it's very possible. If when people ask me, I'll put you on in 2 seconds, Penny. When people ask me, hey, do you guys provide loans and leads? You know what my answer is? Yes, we do. It's called open up your Facebook, open up Manta. It's called, get your drop cards and go. We got so many methods and there's so many leads. The point is that we just need able bodies to go out there and make the money. With that, Penny, come on and share with us, like not just what you've been doing, give us insight, and then after that, guys, ask questions. Don't, if you're quiet, and you have a good question that somebody doesn't have an angle on, please don't be quiet after Penny's done. Ask questions because this is not a lecture. I really want you guys to get meat and steak and meat, and if you don't ask, you can't know. So Penny, it's on you.
Well, thank you, Jairus. And he's right, guys. I have had no experience in the financial banking industry whatsoever. So this is all new to me. Network marketing is not. But hang on a second. Let me shut my door here so my dogs don't start barking too much. Anyway, but like Jairus said, is I am making all of my contacts here lately off of Facebook. In fact, in the Facebook group, David Allen Capital, I even did a screen share video of exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, where you go. I mean, step by step, everything that I do. So make sure you watch that. But all I'm doing really is I'm going into small business owner Facebook groups. Of course, you have to join the group first, and you have to wait until somebody approves for you to join. I just basically I scroll through the group. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for somebody who, of course, owns a business. And I read what the person has posted. So people that I've been contacting are just from all different types of businesses, commercial cleaning, party planning, those bounce house people that has all those little bounce houses, let's see, landscapers, even people who wouldn't necessarily have inventory, like maybe someone who's a website designer. because these loans could also cover stuff like marketing, advertising, stuff like that. So I don't and try not to prejudge any single person, and I just put it out there. I want to introduce myself to them. I send them a message. I hover over their name on the Facebook group, and if there's a message button, I'll send them a message. If there's not a message button, like follow or add them as a friend, I don't do that because Facebook's kind of funny. If you friend too many people, they will put you in what we call the Facebook jail, and I'm sure everybody's been there, some of us more than others. I used to be the Facebook jail queen. No more, because I figured out how they do things. I just type in the comment section, please message me. And, I mean, within, I would say the longest time I had to wait was maybe a couple of hours. I get a message that says, hey, Penny, you wanted me to message you. How can I help you? Then I just go into the, hi, I wanted to introduce myself to you. I'm with David Allen Capital, and I'm specializing in helping small business owners such as yourself get short-term loans. And, you know, are you looking into expanding? Are you growing? How's your business going nowadays? Do you have a tax lien that maybe you need some extra funds to take care of? You know, advertising, any of that sort of thing. The most comments that I get back are, I don't have a very good credit score. I love that one, because then all I say is, I'm so glad you said that, because we don't base our approval off of credit score. We go off of cash flow, and most banks go off of a credit score. So, you know, as soon as you say stuff like that, it kind of opens the door, and people want to start asking questions. What's the rate? Blah, blah, blah. I just say, let's just take a step back here. Let's do the first thing, and let's get you pre-qualified. These are the 12 questions I need you to answer for me. And I just shoot them over. I have what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a Post-it note on my computer that I have all these questions already typed out. I just copy-paste, send them the questions. I move on to the next person. I'm constantly doing this every single day, and what I found is the more contact that you can make and send out your messages, just like, you know, when I first got started, I heard somebody say, you know, make a point to make at least 30, 40, 50 cold calls a day. Well, I am in the process of doing that same thing, only I'm cold messaging every single day by about, and I'm in California, so I'm, you know, Pacific time. By about 3 o'clock my time is when people start getting home from their jobs, their businesses. That's when I start getting all of my feedback. And then all of a sudden, here comes my phone going ding, 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 and I'm looking at all these messages. Hey, you know, thank you for messaging me. I am interested. What are your rates? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, first of all, here's these 12 questions. What can you tell me about your business? What kind of money are you looking for? And I just let them answer, and I move on to the next one. I just keep, because it's in my messenger, it's almost kind of like having a Excel spreadsheet at my fingertips. I can access it from my phone, my tablet, my computer, whatever, and I'm not having to write a whole bunch of stuff down. It also logs your communication back and forth. Now, one thing that I did at first was people who wanted a smaller than $10,000 loan, I kind of said, oh, well, maybe we can't help this person, and I would just move on. Well, here's the thing. Don't ever think that they're not qualified. Go ahead, get the information, get it in the system, and let the system message you back through an email and say, hey, they've met the minimum requirements. Maybe they don't want $10,000. they could use a little less. Maybe they aren't making quite $100,000 a year. Maybe they're making a little less. But let the system tell you if they've met the pre-qualification requirements. And when I stopped prejudging and making the decisions on my own and letting the system do it, I'm getting lots more pre-qualifications. So, do you guys have questions yet?
Oh, God, I've got a bunch. Okay, when you do a pre-qual on people, does it come back with the documentation necessary to get from your client?
Yes. In the email, when you enter all the information, which are basically the 12 questions, okay, and I'm entering that information as soon as I get it, I get an email back that says they need 4 months worth of bank statements, avoided check, driver's license, and they get the same email, okay, the email that they gave you, the email address. So what I do is when I get that email back from David Allen Capital, I contact them immediately. I not only message them back on Facebook, but I pick up the phone, let them hear my voice. Because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't really know if this is a real person. Is this legit? So I pick up the phone and I call them. And I said, hey, this is Penny Kyle. I messaged you. I want to congratulate you. You've been pre-qualified. Here are the things that we need to work on. The sooner you can get this in, the sooner it can get submitted, and we can get you funded.
Great. Okay.
Hey, Penny. Penny.
Uh-huh.
This is Jairus. Hey, I want to say I was starting to think about like your 12 questions the other day, last night, and I was like, it's the 12 questions on the system based on how basically the pre-screening is. What's good about it, guys, is it doesn't ask for their like social security or information up front, so it does give a barrage of or a ideal, an image of, right now which it is doing, is we're just getting the snapshot picture. So you're basically, when you think about what you're doing more, like the questions you're asking, hey, ask these questions. The reason why think about this, the reason why the ratio is even going up higher and it's going to continually go up higher for you is you're asking and getting those questions out, and they're already defensive questions. They're just basic, generic questions. And you're able to collect those answers and put it in the system, which is it's brilliant. And when you really sit and think about what you've done, but if it's possible, even though it's there, can you get the script? We'll put it on the website. Can you get the script, copy paste it, so like that you're using, and people can tweak it a little bit more on some of the other stuff. But is it possible that you can get a script for those 12 questions at least for
Sure.
us, and we'll put it in the script. Brandon and I will put it in the script, and we'll get it out to the team.
Good. That works.
This is Paulette from Houston. I would like to ask a question. When you the qualifications are $10,000 a month, and it's the loan amount starts at $10,000. If they're making less, are you saying that they're able to still get funded?
Well, okay, here's what I did. I had 2 people in particular that are making less than $100,000 a year. They're actually bringing in less than $10,000 a month. And I entered that information in the system. Basically, the first question is, it says if they're making less than $10,000, they don't qualify. Well, I thought, I'm just going to try this. What the heck? Let's see what happens. Well, I clicked, they don't make $100,000 a year. Actually, it says, how much did you want? How much do they want? I clicked the very first one. I can't remember what it says right off the bat, but it's less than $10,000, I believe. And it came back that they were pre-qualified. So, and I've heard on another call that some people were getting loans less than $10,000. So I'm not prejudging. I'm just putting all this information in the computer, and, once they get the documentation, let the process.
Let the underwriters, let the process. I know. I just to add on to you, Penny. Let the underwriter make the decision, guys. I mean, honestly, we're just collecting information in the data. and Penny's right. Do not discriminate. If they get approved, if they're doing $5,000 a month, right? I'm going to say it this way: the system's going to approve it, but it's also marketing too. What they're trying to do. I can tell you this just from my understanding. The company's the David Allen Capital more than anything is trying to weed out the people that are not. The more money you're going to take out, the more serious you're going to be. So, that's kind of with anything. The more risk you extend, the more serious of the buyer or person. But bottom line is that the underwriters are going to do the decision making. They have a electronical algorithm that reads everything, and it's going to give the approval or decline based on if that person. No matter if they're making $5,000, $10,000, or $100,000 a month, the system is going to base it off of a certain algorithm that's going to make sure that they can sustain the business if they took the loan out. So if they get approved, know that the system, they still got to go through the real approval, and the real approval is going to give it, and you guys got to understand it this way too. This is actually, Penny, I didn't even think about this, and I'm going to emphasize this really quickly more. When they get approved by the real approval after they submitted their docs, understand that that's the underwriters now going, now this is the real approval. Their business can sustain this. This is why they're funding it. So know that going back to this business owner, they're getting funded because the system has already given them an analysis of what they can sustain. So, get that deal closed. That's all I can say.
Jared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jared.
Hey, Helen.
This is Helen, and I actually spoke with Wade yesterday, and because I sent in some that, they maybe it was just $10,000 that they needed, and there was a problem with a gentleman not having an email. So, long story short, I actually got the opportunity to speak with him on yesterday, and I asked him the very question about people who did not want a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 loan. He told me that they did not have to even make the $10,000 a month as long as they had a minimum of $7,000 a month. If they wanted just like a little $10,000 loan. And he told me, he said, everyone doesn't have to get a $20,000 loan, a $30,000 loan. They will accept something lower. And whenever that is the case, this is what he informed me to do yesterday. Once I put it in the system, he told me just to follow up via email with a phone call and let him know that this was just a smaller loan. So the qualifications basically were as long as they're making at least a minimum of $7,000 per month and meet all the other qualifications. They do.
Helen, that is beautiful. No, stay on, Helen. This is beautiful because look at how we're going to turn that, and because you're going to deal with a client, you're approved for $50,000, and maybe they don't want the terms. No, I'm not interested in the loan. I know somebody like Brandon. You had a guy that was $200,000. Now that's what he wanted, but we can always go back and say, look, I get you $100,000. Here's the terms. It's a lot less, but this is what you can do, and we can get you another loan in 6 months or a year. You guys put that in your mind because that's actually, you don't want to look at them as just getting one loan out of them. Usually these people can actually get, they're going to, a lot of people actually get funded 3 and 4 times. So you got to position yourself with these. If you use that tactic to your advantage, what you just said, Helen, that actually is powerful because when they get done with that $5,000 or $10,000 loan, what is it? More than likely, they're going to want to re-up that, right? Mm-hmm. So if you get a couple hundred over your career with this, and those people are re-upping, I actually tell you the truth, I would love to have a couple hundred of those re-upping all the time, because that's a lot of money over time.
Yep. So we and then also there is a way team that I don't know how they do it. Because I have a gentleman that was less than 4 months in business, and I went ahead and sent it through based on He worked out of his home, et cetera, et cetera. And although he filed it under his, taxes as a 1099, well, I've been talking to Wade the past 2 days. He told me, he said, he sent that email back quickly. We do not, he hasn't been in business 4 months. So whatever they're using, it's when they say they're pre-qualified, they're pre-qualified, because he knew that man had not been in business 4 months. So
that's powerful. Okay, so you're saying basically when they go in the system, they get pre-qualified. That's already, the system is giving, it's knowing exactly how long that they've been in business, checking all those points.
Exactly. Yeah.
Penny, you've got quite a few of those that you probably can go ahead and submit.
Yes, I'm just waiting for information back from several people, the 12 questions, because without that information back from them, you can't really enter a whole lot. So
that's got it. Is there any other questions, Penny, for anybody on this forum right now? I mean, you guys have questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have one, and I'll get with you on Facebook. But I received the deal for Facebook, but when I clicked on that link, and I guess that's something I should speak with you or Brandon about. When I clicked to join it, it says, sorry, this content isn't available right now. The link you followed may have expired. Yeah. So I'll get with you or Brandon so that way I don't use the time on the meeting. Yeah, but that's Facebook. Yeah, I'm going to pick your brain once I go on Facebook, because that was very interesting and very helpful.
Here's the thing, Helen. I mean, I know you're the queen of cold calling, by the way. You're the queen of that cold call, but at the end of the day, I mean, when you mash together all the methods together, and I know you work from home. I'm just using most of you guys on the call. Let's just be candid here. Most of you guys on the call, you guys are working another job. You guys are doing, or you're working full time. You're working as full time. Whatever the story is that most of us don't want to run around town. I mean, I'm not saying against drop cards. I'm not shooting that method for our team. And actually, you probably should always have some drop cards in your car when you're out and about, when you're already in your normal routine. If you see a few businesses, drop it off. That's how I would really use drop cards. And if you're bored, go out there and do some drop cards. But doing the cold calling is one of the most effective, and also the Facebook. And that's why I'm really working hard. I'm actually got a call with yesterday I had a call with the marketing agency on Facebook ads. So I'm really aggressively, after talking to Penny and working with her on this, what she's been doing in businesses, I'm really getting aggressive with the Facebook ads. And what that means for all of us is that once that's done, it works, and I can help the best I can on the ad copy. But point is that I'm coming out of my own pocket, my own money for an ad agency eventually here to run ads and generate leads. And I'm not putting somebody on the spot, but when I have people ask me, hey, do you guys provide leads and this and the other? I always say this to people straight out. I say, hey, look, if I was going to give you guys leads, then there will be no need, meaning I make more money if it goes directly through my pipeline and portal system. So it's conducive for every one of us to work our angles, but cold calling and Facebook and really getting these business owners and following up. The first initial contact, you're not always going to get a home run. It's the follow up, and that's kind of what I emphasized in the beginning of the call. Is as soon as you guys get even in the funnel and the pre-approved, follow up. Call them. I would actually make human contact with these people because you have their number now. Hey, this is Jairus Coleman. I just wanted to make sure, hey, you got the pre-approval? Yep. Okay, you got to make sure we get all those documentations inside of the email that you got, okay? I'll follow up with you tomorrow. I mean, I just want to, the faster you get this done, the faster we can get you funded. I want to get you funded before the end of the month. No, not a problem. Perfect. I let them know, too. Let them know that you're going to follow up with them the next day or two. That way they know if you're going to be a pest, give them pre-warning you're going to be a pest. And make it jokeful. Guys, when to be a pest, I'm going to just say there. Here's a trick about being a pest. Make it jokeful. Hey, I'm going to bug you until we get this information, okay? So let's help me out to not bug you, so I'll follow. So I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, okay? I just want to make sure you get funded. The faster you get funded, the quicker we can get that money in your pocket. You want that money, right? So make it jokeful. Well, really quickly, is there anybody else that has any questions to Penny or anybody on the call based on the methods? If not, I want to move it to Adam, and we're going to get ready to roll. Brandon will close us out here in a minute.
Oh, you really want me to come out now, huh?
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
Well, I'm going to give you my nugget for the day, buddy. It's my daily bag, right? Well, everybody, so yesterday was tax day.
Oh.
It is also a very unique time in business. Yesterday there was more tax extensions filed than any other year.
Wow.
Which is a very, very interesting scenario here. And the reason why is because of the business owners' tax burdens, especially in California, have gone through the roof. They couldn't pay it. They couldn't pay their tax bills. They couldn't pay their tax bills. There was more federal tax issues passed over the last year than any other year. And especially in California, business taxes have basically doubled in California. If there's somebody in a car or something, if you could please mute yourself out. I can't even hear myself.
Adam, you should be clean. I'm muting everybody.
Okay. The main issue here that we're seeing is that people now are indebted to the government. A lot of companies are at very least, are over a hundred, some of them $100,000 in debt. You muted me out, Jairus. Hello? Hello?
We hear you. Go right ahead, Adam.
Oh, so the big issue here that we're having is people are in such amount of debt with their business to the government now that it is absolutely crazy. We have the ability of helping them to relieve that debt, and it is unlike any other time in life. We have an olive branch. We're able to help these people, and it could be considered a duty, since we have the ability of doing it, to help them. Now, I have never seen a time when lenders are this open to putting money out in the economy. I've never seen this in 15 years of dealing with small business owners. And I was talking to my father the other day. He's a business litigator for a bankruptcy lawyer, the former president of the California Bankruptcy Forum and the president of the California Bar Association. He's finally coming around to what we're doing. He was against it at first, but now he's looking at this as, I have never seen a group that has the amount of lenders that DAC has, and I've never seen all these different lenders come together and be open to putting out money. This is huge for business owners. There has never been a better time for a business owner to get money and to get the help that they need. That help is here. The time is now. And we have the ability to do something here to revive cities, revive counties, revive states, and really to help to revive the spirit of the American entrepreneur and revive the spirit of the small business owner, whether they're from here or not. The American dream is still alive, and we can help people reach that. Everybody has a dream. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has a purpose. Hey, I found mine. It's right here. It didn't get much better than this. So, everybody, I want to thank you all for seeing what we're doing. And thank you all for getting out and sharing what we have with all the business owners that you've been contacting. The powers on high, up in the heavens, are going to remember that you were there to help people, and that you were there to make sure that their goals are being met, and that their dreams are going to be able to make. Well, to make sure that their lives were just that much easier. It's going to go a long way, everybody. So with that, that's my nugget for the day, Brandon.
All right, thank you, Adam. I'll go ahead and get us closed out, but I want to share this too because I know Penny shared information about how to use Facebook. And for those of you that are not familiar with how to use Facebook or you don't know what to say, one thing that we love in our industry is called copy and paste. So you can always copy what other members are doing and then just post it on yours. The one thing you want to do, though, if a member, like for example, whenever I make posts, I always put a link, my link, in. I don't use the whole David Allen Capital. In fact, I try not to even mention the name David Allen Capital because I don't want them to run around, try to do research, and go around me. I try to keep it generic, but I have my link GoDaddy Mask with the GoDaddy name. So if you copy anything from me and there's a link in there, make sure you delete my link and put your link in its place. And if you don't know what your link is, I was talking to one of my agents last night. She had no idea what her link was. It is always davidallencapital.com/your ID number. That's your replicated link for businesses to be able to fill out those 12 questions as well and hit the submit button. If you're signing up an agent, it is davidallencapital.com/partner/your ID number. So that's for businesses and for agents. You all have your own replicated websites, so it is okay and it is encouraged. Go ahead and copy. I did that. I saw what Penny posted. I just copied exactly what she said, word for word, and put my link on it. What works, works. No need to reinvent the wheel. So we encourage you to utilize what the other members are doing, but just make sure you have your link in there so that you get credit for it. If you post with my link, then all of your contacts are going to be clicking on my link, going to my website. And I know you're not trying to give me money. I'm not going to complain, but I want you guys to have that money. So make sure you have your link in there as well. And so any last questions or comments before we go ahead and close out? Awesome. Well, we will see you all Friday. Take advantage of this tax season right now. I know a lot of businesses, the owners weren't picking up the phones yesterday because they were doing their taxes. But the rest of this week, you now are able to provide them a solution to their problem. How am I going to pay this tax bill? And here you come with an offer for them. So take care, everybody. I'll get this recording up on the website as soon as possible. Have a productive week. God bless. Bye-bye.